Najib Razak turned up at the Kuala Lumpur courthouse today with his wife Rosmah Mansor in tow. He, for his case, postponed from yesterday due to his lawyer's medical leave, and she for her own cases. But Najib's SRC international trial was again interrupted, this time by a bomb scare. By the Malaysian Insight, this is The People versus Najib Razak. Follow us into the courtroom where it all happens. I'm Patrick Teo. On day 43 of the SRC trial, Najib arrived at the KL High Court wearing a blue suit with a red tie. His wife, Rosmah Mansor, was dressed in a floral yellow traditional dress and matching headscarf. The couple stepped out of the same vehicle but walked into court without acknowledging each other. They even took separate lifts up to the 5th floor. Najib went straight into Judge Naslan's court while Rosmah waited with her lawyers at the lounge for her hearing to start. Najib, as you know, is facing 7 charges for corruption and abuse of power for receiving 42 million ringgit of SRC's funds into his personal bank account. His wife has been accused of receiving 5 million ringgit in kickbacks over a solar hybrid project in Sarawak. Today's proceedings began with defense lawyer Harvey handing the judge a medical certificate. The trial was postponed yesterday because a few defense lawyers had taken ill, and lead counsel Shafi Abdullah was busy with another case. With Najib in the accused dock, former AmBank relationship manager Joanna Yu was back on the witness stand for the 3rd day. Harvey began going through transcripts of her BlackBerry Messenger chats with Joe Low, Nick Faisal, and others relating to SRC. Her replies sounded more cautious compared to previous days. In one conversation with Nick Faisal, whose current whereabouts no one seems to know, Joanna had referred to Joe Low as boss. Harvey had over the past few days repeatedly alleged that Joanna was acting on Joe Low's instructions, which the witness had emphatically denied. In another chat, Joe Low had told Joanna to delete her chat logs, but the diminutive 48-year-old didn't do it because she didn't know how to. Harvey suggested that Joe Low was the type of person who would react to things rather than plan them. He also posited that Joe Low was not prepared for all the last-minute fund transfers into Najib's AmBank accounts, which were perpetually overdrawn. Joanna agreed. The court soon took a 10-minute break. Najib met his wife, who was still waiting at the 5th floor lounge, and the duo shared a lift down to the canteen to get some coffee. Back from the break, Harvey asked Joanna if she had read the book Billion Dollar Whale, which is about Joe Low, written by Wall Street Journal journalists. She said that she hadn't, and it was on purpose. Have you read it, Yvonne?
I'm reading it right now, actually. Controversies aside, it's a pretty riveting read, but let's not get into that right now. So Harvey asked Joanna if she had sent excerpts of her chats with Joe Low to the book's authors. She said no. She never even met them. Harvey said he'll come back to that later. Then he asked Joanna if she knew Najib wanted to open the AmBank accounts in 2011 because he was expecting donations from some Saudi royals. She said Joe Low had mentioned incoming funds, but she doesn't recall him describing them as donations. The lawyer read out a text conversation in which Joanna had suggested that Najib's bank accounts be sent to his house, as was the normal practice. Joe Low's reply was, No, don't do that. Too much sensitive information. The witness said Joe Low had insisted that all of Najib's account statements had to be picked up from the bank and never sent to the former PM's house.
Midway through Harvey's questioning, Judge Nazlan suddenly announced that everyone was to vacate the court. He said he didn't know when proceedings would resume. Apparently, there was a bomb in the building. Yvonne, what happened?
Yeah, there was a bomb scare, but it turned out to be a false alarm. Someone, an anonymous caller, had told the police that there was a bomb on the premises. The authorities quickly evacuated everyone out of the building and cordoned it off as the police began their search. Najib was led straight to his waiting car. He didn't look worried or scared, rather quite relaxed. He even stopped to smile and wave at cameras and had a brief chit-chat with supporters before entering his car. His wife Rosmah must have left earlier because she wasn't with him. After searching the premises for about 1.5 hours, the police gave an all-clear and allowed people back into the court. They said they had searched everywhere, focusing especially on courtrooms that saw exceptionally interesting cases today, but found nothing suspicious. But the police said that investigations will continue and they will look into tracking down the caller. They also added that there was no mention of Najib's ongoing SRC trial in the tip-off.
After all that drama, proceedings continued at 2:30 p.m., but only for a short while. Prosecutor Sitambaram told Judge Nazlan that the defense wanted access to the chat logs from Joanna's seized BlackBerry phone, which were not submitted as evidence. The judge allowed Harvey access to the chat logs and decided that they would be marked as ID, meaning they can only be referred to during testimony but not have their contents read out in court. Harvey then asked the judge for early adjournment so that the defense can go over the chat logs and prepare for cross-examination on Monday. The judge allowed it. The trial will continue on Monday at 9 a.m. This podcast is produced, written and mixed by Revati Subramaniam, Yap Pek Kwan, Yvonne Lim, and Ravin Palanisamy. Additional reporting by Timothy Acharya. I'm Patrick Teo.